3, man. Mark it 3 times. No is yes is the destination. No is how we get there. So again, this is a replay of this morning's show, 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Start your day off with us on Sales Chatter. DJ, right. Should we take it away? Because it was a super powerful episode. This episode, if you are wanting to get into that challenge, we're full for challenge 1. But we're taking names for challenge 2 probably in a couple of weeks. We'll see. You never know, because you know us, DJ. It's like, sure, let's add it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's.
That's right. That's right.
Really cool. I mean, some of the things that we're seeing already in the Slack channel is insane. Where people are jumping in, like
videos and everything.
Yeah. Don't care if it's 3 feet shallow. They don't care. They're jumping in, man. Belly flops and all. We're cruising. So
I love it.
We're good, DJ. You want to get going with the show, or did you have something you wanted to share?
No, I got nothing to share. Just, hey guys, again, LinkedIn is not broken. We are going to be on 3 times. You're seeing us live, but it's okay. We're playing a replay of this morning's show. You'll see us every day.
Yeah, and if you see this at the top of the screen, that means the show's on replay. So right now, it ain't there because we're live. It's 3:01 p.m. on Thursday, March 24th. We're live, y'all. Right now, we're going into replay mode. I know. I was just saying that. The background is awesome. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Sales Chatter. Today is going to be spectacular. Here's the deal. So in sales, yes is obviously the destination. But people think, well, it's a lot more work that get you there. It's actually no that gets you there. To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly. That's like a what? How do we get there? Oh, that is awesome.
That was so good.
I do those spontaneous, DJ. I don't even think of them before. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And so today, everybody, as you can see, if you're watching us live, we've got Andrea Waltz with us. Like my most fave person on the planet when it comes to sales strategy and just the go for no strategy and turning no into the objective and like really a game. And I don't want to give too much away, Andrea, because I know every time we talk, I'm like, oh my God, you got to tell the story of how this all came about. And I know we have, it's just a half-hour show. Well, sort of. We kind of sometimes usually go 45 minutes. But Andrea's book, Go for No, and Richard. So Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz, they wrote a book called Go for No. And if you are looking to get a book that will change your perspective about how you prospect, what are the objectives, and what it takes to truly become successful, this is the book. There's a ton of sales books out there. All are great, but this one will probably give you the biggest paradigm shift you've ever seen in your life. And I'll tell you, Andrea, months it took me to like hearing no, because I know every no I hear, I get to yes. There were the old strategies that we used to use back in the day, 29 years ago when I started, where we'd print a $5 bill off the internet and we'd put a $5 bill or a $20 bill on our phone handle. And it was like, every time you touch it, it's $20 because, out of 100 calls, you'd close 2 deals. Those 2 deals are worth $2,000. And it's kind of, so every call is $20 kind of thing. And it was, those strategies kind of trick yourself to saying, okay, I like sales calls. I like hearing no, yay. Not true. But your strategy is just killer. So I'll stop there because
killer.
Let's go back to the beginning and deep dive for us for the next 5 minutes or so. And then I know we're going to have a lot of people that have questions.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I'm still trying to feel worthy after that really cool graphical introduction. That was awesome.
Did you like that? I like the eye.
Okay, yeah, super, super cool. So I'm like, wow. So this better be good now after that introduction. Okay, so I'll take you back to the beginning. And this whole thing is kind of I call it a strategy, but also it's a mindset, as you guys know. And it's really based on, I think, kind of a timeless principle. And the timeless principle is it's one of those counterintuitive principles. And sometimes you come across, something that doesn't seem like it would make sense, like, kind of, if you want to build muscle, you have to break it down, and you go like, wow, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's the same way with this idea of go for no. If you want to get more success in your life, you're going to have to increase your failure rate. If you want to get more yeses in your business, you're going to have to be willing and want to hear no more often. But the whole thing started when my husband and business partner shared this story with me, this thing that happened to him when he was selling suits for a living, and he was basically failing at it. The district manager was coming in to visit the store, and he was trying to impress this guy. And on this day of this store visit, this customer walks in, and my husband Richard got to take care of this man while the district manager was there watching this whole thing. And the guy basically wanted to buy an entire wardrobe of clothing. So Richard proceeds to sell him a suit and sport coat and slacks and shirts, ties, everything. It came to $1,100. And the district manager, after this sale, basically they're finally talking. The district manager asks Richard this really weird question, which was, what did that customer say no to? And Richard was kind of mad because he's like, what do you mean, what did that customer say no to? You just watched me have this great sale. He basically bought everything I laid in front of him. And then Harold asked him, the district manager asked him the really important question. He said, well, then how did you know he was done? If he never said no to anything and you're laying out thing after thing. And that was the moment that Richard had to admit that he basically was the one who shut the sale down, that this guy had basically reached his own mental spending limit. And he decided that he would end the sale, ring the guy up, send him on his way. And Harold said, you know where that guy is right now? And Richard said, where? And he said, he's at the other end of the mall, spending the rest of the money that you wouldn't let him spend here with us. And so it's, kind of a painful lesson, but Richard had an epiphany. And as he likes to tell it, he always says that he didn't know if he had what it took to succeed, but he knew he had what it took to fail. He could fail more often. He could hear no more often. And that's what he did. And he made it a practice. He just was willing to hear no more often. And he became an award-winning salesperson after a year of applying Go for No, went into management, went into training, and eventually we end up meeting. And I was kind of the opposite. I didn't have, in my head, I didn't have a fear of the word no. Like I didn't think I did. I actually thought I've told you this before, I thought I was like this great superstar salesperson. And then when I heard the story, I just decided that I would stop, and kind of be humble, have a moment of humility and say, maybe there's something I can learn here. And I actually realized, and I thought through, how do I interact with people? And do I just get that yes, and then am I done? And do I, stay away from hearing the word no? And I realized that I did. So I started applying it as well. And not only did I apply it at my job, but I had to apply it when we launched our business too. So it's kind of it's a strategy and a mindset, because the mindset is you have to fail your way to success. The strategy part is start hearing no more often.
I love that.
Yes.
Andrea, when we first met and when I got your movie, Go for No, the movie, I mean, I love that movie. I know you were like, well, Dan, it was like on camcorders and we were driving around the country, but to me, that is like raw, authentic. It's a fantastic movie. And a lot of people I love are in it too, so that probably helps. But when I read your book, when I took your Go for No course, I could tell you, I started branching in my business. And my business started to create a tree with every customer like no other. It was the pinnacle to go from 500,000-600,000 GP to over 2 million GP was the pinnacle of branching and asking for different things. Because so what I started to do, so for all of you in logistics thinking of this strategy, it would come down to, okay, you get the LTL, then you ask for the truckload, then you ask for the intermodal, then you ask for the ocean, then you ask for air, and then maybe expedite and warehousing and local distribution, P&D, final mile, like all of this. There's so many elements in our business where a lot of the times as salespeople, we get the truckload business. It's like, yeah, we got the truckload business. It's like, do 5 or 6 loads and then say, hey, how can I help you with this? No, not right now. And I'll tell you, the one customer, we called them a 5-star account because they took every single 5 pieces of the business functions that we did. over the road, which is like truckload, LTL, intermodal, ocean, air, and customs. And they took all 5 of these pieces of business that I did. And it took me close to a year of hearing no. Like I had the truckload business and then it was like, well, how do I get the local delivery business? No, Dan, just do the truckload. Okay. I do the truckload. I help them achieve more goals. Okay. How do I get the local delivery business? Okay. We'll give it to you. And it's like, I was relentless. And it reminds me of that YouTube video. For those of you, DJ, you saw the YouTube video I sent in our mastermind group and then a couple other mastermind groups. I sent this YouTube video where this guy is like an upsell king, right? Like and it's actually comical, but I heard no for well over, I'm going to say probably 18 months. It wasn't quite 2 years, but 18 months. And finally they became a 5-star client, and it's never, and I mean, and it came from like literally before that, Andrea, I mean, all like honor, privilege, and just to know you, because that was a pinnacle to start that tree branching in my business, for gosh, at that point, well, we are what, 2009 I met you, 2010. Yeah. So wow, I feel old right now. Hey, like we met so long ago. But for the last 12 years of the 29 years I've been in this industry, I 700, 800, 900 x'd my first part of my career. And it's all because I was always stopping. Like that mental side of me was Richard selling $1,100 in suits, where this person maybe had 5, 6, 7 G's to spend. And it's like, well, I would never spend more than 1,100. I would never give somebody more than just the truckload business. I want to keep my apples open, or I want to keep my basket open, that kind of strategy. I mean, totally changed now, but that was the way I went into it, is you just sell one thing and you walk away. And when your company has the ability to do so many other things. And now I'm all of my students, I'm like, you need somebody, an expert in expedite, I know exactly who to call. You need an expert in rail, I know exactly who to call. And like, I'm encouraging them to get other ends of the business, because you will hear no, even if you're doing really good at one end. Like today's day and age, people have their favorites for each end, and you're going to hear no, and to hear no for 18 months on pretty much every week. Like every week I was hitting this customer up for new stuff for 18 months, and it finally happened. And it's all because of this strategy. So thank you.
Well, and I think she hit it on the head with the 2 things she said: mindset and the fear. I think we have this fear of no. What's the worst that could possibly happen from somebody saying no? Like, we just have to get over that first. You're not going to die. It won't hurt you. There's no destruction that can really come, except your ego is a little bit hurt by hearing the word no.
Now, do you think, DJ, okay, so in our business, right, in logistics, do you think it comes down to a little bit of, okay, well, I have the truckload. If I ask for this, maybe I'll lose the truckload. Do you think there's any of that fear in it? Or do you think there's a fear on the flip side of it? And I think this is going to be more of the side of it. It's like, if your company has the different departments, and say your intermodal department in your company, it's like, well, if they screw up, I might lose my business. So I'm afraid to, you know what I'm saying? Because you've probably been there. I think that was probably my biggest fear. As opposed to hearing no, because you got a relationship with the customer at that point. It was the prospecting strategy of go for no, as opposed to the now they're a customer, let's go for no a million times stronger, a little bit different.
Deeper.
But yeah. So what do we got going on here? We got good morning, Jeff. Morning. Morning. I think this is Chad, because it says 5SK. So I think that's Chad. But good morning, brother. Good morning, Lisa. Melissa, hey, man, it's been forever since we've chat. We're going to have to get together, because I'd love to have you on the show. I think you'd be awesome. DJ, I love you too. Jeff says, when calling prospects, narrow your reach down by staying in your lane where your knowledge and experience increases your chance of success. Then spend your time wisely when calling prospects. That's a great perspective. Risky. I mean, I think it is risky. Kenneth says, I've celebrated my first lost RFP with a helicopter ride. It's been easier since. There you go. You know what? Here's the thing. That RFP probably would have drove you friggin' nuts anyways, man. Like, it just, if you lost it, who cares? We were just talking off air about, having issues, and then saying, like, really, it could be better. Right. And I shared quickly the story about when I was writing a book for about close to 9 months, and I lost the manuscript one day. Like, I deleted it by mistake, the entire thing. And I remember my wife saying, like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Are you gonna have a breakdown? I'm like, Yeah, don't get me wrong. I was I was pissed. But I was like, well, I guess in the end, it probably wasn't as good as it could be. And it's a tough perspective for people. And Andrea, when we talk about that no, right? Some will, some won't. So what? I love that when you said that to me that day. Um,
That's right.
that no, when it comes to business, like when we're prospecting and it's no, 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 I think it hurts more than like saying to our spouse, hey, you want pizza tonight? No, I'm not into pizza. Okay, well, what else do you want? Right? Like it's still a no,
Yeah.
it's still rejection in some way, shape, or form, but it hits harder. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, say so. There's safe rejections, which is
Oh,
we hear the safe no's from our friends and family all the time. You don't freak out if you ask your friend, "Hey, you want to get together next week?" and they tell you no. It's not the same kind of rejection. And I think because we just have the relationship is on a different level. But I do want to go back to this idea of it's kind of like playing to win versus playing not to lose. And I think we get in that mindset. I think our brains work that way of, to your point, Dan, let's not go outside our lane and risk losing what we have, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And there might be a part of us thinking, well, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be greedy. I've got the truckload business, so I don't want to lose it. Instead of playing to win. And you know what? I would say if you did it 10 times and you went out and you got all of those other lines, okay, maybe you do lose one of them, but because something goes wrong and the client freaks out. But should you always then say, well, I mean, that's just where the comfort zone shrinks. And now you're always having to second guess and you're always having to say, well, let's not offer this and let's not do this because we don't want to take any chances. I mean, that's a crazy way to do business.
you know, you're so right. And not to mention
Yes.
if you go for 10 and 9 of them are okay, you're gonna have way more business than if you just stayed in one aspect with the all 10. And the flip side of that, Andrea, and something to think about is if you add value, and I mean real value, not the whole we need to add value, like authentic value, helping them crush their goals, helping them, crush their mandates on truckload. What if instead of that perspective of, oh man, what if I lose it? What if you can help them do the same thing in different modes in their business?
Mm-hmm.
So you're upping the value by tenfold each time. Tenfold. And that, for me, that mental shift was everything. Because it wasn't just I'm trying to get this business and what happens if I lose it. It's like, listen, I know this, and again, it has to be the value that you can add. Like if you have zero faith and one of your departments is like completely dropping the ball all the time, then don't, because your image, credibility, and
Yeah.
brand's on the
Don't
line.
risk it. Yeah.
But if they have value and you look at it and you say, listen, this department, as much as you as a sales rep aren't hands-on, because I wasn't hands-on for any of the intermodal. I had no say in it, but the customer loved it because I had faith and belief. And I watched the way the team did the job and they were top notch. And I was like, okay, we can do this. Let's do it. And I think once you release that faith, because it's adding that value, it changes that perspective. Right. And I agree with you. It goes from like, hey, listen, there's a value there. There's an opportunity for us to do more business and for you to have more ends of your business in the comfort zone as opposed to the panic zone because people are letting you down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so well said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we've got Melissa, love you, Dan. Fantastic. I'm going to take the course. Sweet. Yes,
Hey.
definitely. Oh, so this is great. So Melissa says, I'm curious to know if I'm scared of no. I don't think I am,
I,
but we never know what we are doing unless we dig deep. So Andrea, what are some things that Melissa, that is like, first of all, your authenticity right there. I love you. You are fantastic. And you know what? When we have Melissa on the show, y'all are going to see there was Melissa. If you can in the comments, share that quote with me that you said to me when we were on a clubhouse a while back, and just awesome, awesome, awesome lady. What are some of the things that we as sales reps should pay attention to start to identify if we're actually avoiding the pain of no?
Yeah, that is such a great question. DJ, go
I
for it.
know.
That is such a great question. I think the first one's easiest. If you have call reluctancy, if you are scared to pick up the damn phone every time it's time to make uh, cold calls, you are scared of no. My opinion, I think you are scared to death of no, and you just got to get that fear out and just call. Make the first call, get the first no out of the way, and just keep. Once you can do that mind shift, I think Kenneth said it. When you celebrate the no's instead of fear the no's, makes all the difference, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing is procrastination, and pick your excuse. Now, these are not reasons. In fact, I was just writing up the difference between reasons and excuses, and what a fine line that is. But those excuses of procrastination, which is always, it's too early, it's too late, it's a holiday week. There's, nobody's going to be paying attention. Everybody's distracted. This, that. And before
They
you know it,
sound great.
I need to
Up
go through
here,
my
they're like,
emails the
it makes
100th time.
total sense.
total sense. Yeah. And you just come up with all of these excuses, and before you know it, there was some funny thing. I wish I need to find it. I'm sure I saved this graphic somewhere. It was like it had listed every excuse, and it said you can't call here, you can't do it here, you can't do it here, you can't do it here, and then by the end it said pretty much you can never do it. By the end, like, there is no good day of the week, time, part of the year, person, you name it. Like, there's just
What? And Hayden just popped up, and it made me think of, in the book you guys had the Pike study.
Yes.
It talks about and I think that's a big thing too. That when I heard that part, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that makes so much sense. And can you tell Hayden about that?
Yeah. So, well, the whole idea that we give the example of the elephant who, as a baby elephant is tied to this post, and then they grow up, and that little post still holds a large elephant. The Pike study, and so this is all about self-imposed limitations. So the Pike study that was done by researchers, I think actually in Canada, and
that doesn't surprise me.
Your tax dollars hard at work, no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they looked at pike, and basically they put a pike in with minnows, which are their favorite food, and let them swim around. And eventually they put this glass partition between the pike and the minnows, and the pike kept hitting their head against this glass partition to get to their favorite food, the minnows. Eventually they pull the glass partition out so that the pike can go to the minnows, but they have learned, they've been trained that there's this barrier there, and they're not going to attempt it anymore. So it's that we get worn down. It's after time, when you try a few times, you just let that become your limitation.
Mm-hmm. It's you see that a lot in our industry with levels of success, right? Like we have sales reps in our industry who hit $5,000 a week GP and gross profit, and then they're there. And that's literally, it's like, oh my God, I'm making $20,000 a month. I'm making $6,000 a month. I'm making 70 grand a year. I've never made 70 grand a year before. And hey, ding, ding, ding. I was one of them, because when I hit a number, it was like, I'm a grade 9 dropout. There's no chance in hell I can make 100 grand a year. None. And as much as I wanted it, and don't get me wrong, I wanted the nice house. I wanted to be able to buy a Porsche. I wanted all that stuff that I think every kid wants. Like, they want the Ferrari. They want, they all want that. And I wanted that. Like, I wanted to be Batman too, and Superman. But I wanted all of that. And my brain would not let me get past. And for all of you watching and listening, one of the things is, do you self-sabotage, or does something happen? So like you close 60 grand worth of business at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden you're staying, then you close a big deal that would bring you up to like $150,000 in commission, and something happens and you screw it up. That is your self-image coming into play. That's taking you down a notch. There was a study done.
I'm so glad you brought that.
Yeah, and I'll have to find it, because it's very important. Maybe I'll find it for one of the replays here. We got a special announcement for y'all today too. That they said, most of the sales managers in the U.S. they could go and they could walk, the good salesmen, they could walk around their company and say, that guy's a $50,000 producer. That one's $100,000. And they can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, to the point of like a 4% ratio, how much these salespeople are going to do, because they're stuck in that paradigm of this is what I could do. You know, Hayden, when he said, I created an alter ego to escape obesity and depression. I use my alter ego for many things.
Yes.
And I think that's huge, right? Like Melissa said it right. She goes, you know, the mind hits a number and we stop seeing further. I was stuck at 20K per month mentally for 7 years. 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. Like Melissa, that is awesome. I'm so glad you shared that, because you know what? I was there with you. I think that's why we get along so well. I was there with you. And it's crazy how we get stuck. And then you know what? Melissa, you'll know that, and probably anyone that's been stuck in that will know this. You go above and it's like, oh my God, I can do it. And then that's your next glass ceiling.
It's the whole
4-minute
mile thing, but we're doing it to ourselves.
And that's the difference, DJ, right? When we see other people do it, it's like, okay, I can do it. But then that friggin' 6 inches between your ears just friggin' drives you back down into the dirt. It's crazy. So Andrea, all right. So with Go for No, what are some strategies or some things people can pay attention to, triggers, to help them say, okay, hold on. Whoa, I'm slipping back into this paradigm of not wanting to hear no. I got to hear no more.
Yeah. So the big one is just to create a no awareness, and you can do it every day. You could do it weekly, but I think when you have that no awareness, you're looking for those opportunities. So to your point, Dan, and I really liked the way you set this up in the beginning, where you kind of expanded your thinking and you searched for all of the different options to hear no from your customers. And that's really powerful, because a lot of people, they hear Go for No and they go like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That makes sense. But you've got to apply it. And so create that no.
She's watched the show a few times.
It's one thing is create that no awareness and then look for those opportunities. And then at the end of the week, if you didn't hear no, not one time, then you're not doing it right. You're not reaching out enough. You talked yourself out of something, probably. You made those excuses. There's so many. We don't have to go through them again, but you made those excuses. And so when we talk about and I think sometimes we do this, Dan, is we talk about those 5 failure levels. Well, level 3 is the wantingness to fail. And that is.
Can you go through them all, Andrea? Can you go through them all? I should have totally asked that right at the beginning, because everybody, this is insane. Pay attention.
Well, if we started with this, people might have freaked out and been like, this is too weird.
You know what? That's true. Actually, you're right. Everything happens for a reason. So we've set it up pretty good now, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. So 5 levels of failure. 1, the ability to fail. That's where we all start. Level 2 is the willingness. So you hear a message like this, you hear Go for No, hear no more often. You go like, okay, I'm willing to do it. But the wantingness is level 3. And that's where you do at the end of the week, you go, wow, I didn't, perform to my potential, because I took my couple yeses. I never heard no. So it's that really wantingness to do it. And level 4 is failing bigger and faster. So it's going after those big deals. In fact, I do this Go for No challenge. I've been doing this year. It's kind of my new project for the year. I'm probably going to end up doing 9, and I do these 21-day challenges where I have a small group, and I basically coach them week by week to do this. And one of the things that they have to do is go after what we call big fish, which is a big no. It's that big opportunity. It's the one that really scares you, where you keep putting it off and you keep saying, this company is too big, I shouldn't call on them, or this person is really successful, we're not on the same level, so I'm not going to bother to reach out to them. It's all of that. So getting that big no is level 4. And then level 5 is really the team. It's the, if individual failure equals individual success, it's the team failure equals team success.
I want in. Can you send me info on that?
I will send you info.
I want in 1,000,000%. I'm in.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm totally in. That sounds like so much fun. And you know what? Huge paradigm shift. I'm totally in. Yeah, done.
Okay.
I
Done.
absolutely love that too. Fail faster. Fail. Yeah.
Fail faster. Oh, Aiden says, Dan, you can be Batman. You can, man. You know what? Here's the thing. I think we can all be Batman because all Batman is just a really rich dude with some cool toys.
Right.
Right. So I think we can all be Batman.
Well, and
Superman, on the other
Alfred,
hand,
right?
I'm not bulletproof. I don't know if I'd want to test that. You know what I'm saying? But right. So yes, then the glass ceiling gets stuck again. I hate that pike. I love it.
Agreed.
Hayden
Agreed.
said, let's get weird. Yes. Melissa says, I love it. I have 50 big fish this year and I have closed on 2 of them this year. I'm so excited to see if I can go further. Absolutely. I
Keep
would actually
pushing.
say,
Keep going for no.
yeah. And I would say,
That's
Melissa,
impressive.
really impressed. I would say, let's change that verbiage. I'm so excited to see if I could go further. I'm so excited to close the next 2. Change that verbiage, because when you use the word see, it's like you're giving yourself hesitation, is the way I see. Andrea, am I right or wrong there?
Giving yourself an out.
Yeah. So say that again, Dan, because I want to hear the nuance.
So when we use like words that we say to ourselves or that we write are very important, I believe anyways.
Absolutely.
And when we use a word like I'm so excited to see if I could go further. I'm so excited to close the next 2 because I am going further as a verbiage instead of see. Because I think
I am versus I'm going to try. Or
exactly.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
Joel
I
Osteen
think I
has a
am, or
fantastic
I know
book.
I am is another
Yeah.
one that I love to do too. Yeah.
Well, Joel Osteen has I Am, a book he wrote called I Am, and they're I am statements, and I am, healthy. I am this and I am that. And I think subconsciously it changes and shifts things into action as opposed to hesitation from just my own thing.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I think you're so right about language. Brene Brown just came out with this book, Atlas of the Heart, and she talks about language and emotions around language. And it's really, I've listened to some podcasts about that. But the other thing that I like doing is always substitute the word instead of trying. You know how we always say like I'm trying to do this, is I'm working on it. So like if you have a character thing that you're kind of working on, it's instead of trying to be a better person in this area, it's I'm working on it.
So here's something, Andrea, and I'm going to hit you with it. And I know it's putting you on the spot. Melissa says she wants in too on the 21-day challenge.
Okay.
Can we do a sales chatter 21-day challenge where everyone watching and listening either get a hold of DJ and I or whatever, and let's call it, well, what are we today? We are the 24th today. So why not by the 29th, anyone that comes in, can we do a 21-day challenge with people that watch and listen to this show? Would you be up for that?
Yeah, I'm totally open for that.
So, because I think now we all we communicate daily on the show, and I think it would add a bigger element where we're going to push each other harder. We can talk faster. We can be authentic with each other and really release those walls, because Melissa's in, I'm in, DJ's in. You got 3 now. Whoever else is in, whoever wants to really scale 21 days, join this challenge. The Go for No Sales Chatter Challenge. I just totally changed your entire program's name. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But I'm in for sure. This
LinkedIn user is.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We want, how many people is the max you would take for a challenge?
Oh, well, so when I do these and we meet weekly, so the first couple were too big and I had 25 people. This last one that I'm doing, we've got about 11 people. And it kind of flexes because some people don't show up. Unfortunately, people sign up, they register, they pay, and then they don't show up, which is a sad reality. And so right now, I think I have 8 or 9 really hardcore participants.
Okay, so we're going to go 10. We're going to go 10 hardcore participants. Kenneth says, Dan, I got my first yes of the day. I got to go for no's. I got to keep asking till I get no's. So we've got 4 already confirmed. Okay. So the 4 of you, I know you, DJ. The LinkedIn user, you said I'm in for sure. Unfortunately, it just says LinkedIn user. I don't know why your name's not coming up. DM me, Melissa. I'll get a hold of you. There's 4 right now. We need 6 more people to join this 21-day challenge. And you know what I'd like to do? At the end of the 21 days, we're going to have you back on, and we're going to have all the participants on, and we're going to share our stories. Because I think right?
So cool.
Like let's go from beginning till end. Paradigm now, the shattering of the paradigm at the end, and how do we just crush it and kill it? And that is, oh my God, I got goosebumps. Sorry, oh my God, that just like, all right.
It's gonna be fun.
Michelle is in. Michelle is in. Steve Redpath is in. All right. So now we've got what? We're up to 6 now. We need 4 more. 4 more. This is awesome. So excited. So excited. So excited. Okay. Andrea, what can somebody do prior to the 21-day challenge to get ready to shatter their no paradigm?
Oh, this is so good. Now, this is probably not what you think. You have to prepare physically, and by that I mean I don't mean work out, although that's always a great option. But like really get organized in terms of your plan. A lot of times, what happens with these challenges is people start and then they realize, oh my gosh, my call list isn't organized. My spreadsheets, my computer, my files are everywhere. It's like, I need to start going for no. I need people to go for no with. So the best advice I always give is literally clean your desk, clean your car, do whatever you have to do to get organized. Make sure that if you're going to follow up with people in the past, have that information, like have it so that on day one you're ready. So that on day one you're not like, okay, who am I going for no with? How am I going to reach them? What am I doing? Like you don't want to do that on day one. You want to get all of that out beforehand.
Okay, done. So we have 9 people already. We need 1 more person. Don't go to bed without a plan for the next morning. Jeff or Michelle, that is every night I sit in bed and I plan my entire day the next day. I analyze it. I prioritize it. I go, do I really need to have this conversation tomorrow? Can it wait? Unreal, Michelle. That is the thing to do. I love that.
I love that too. I need to remember to tell people I'm stealing that from you, Michelle. Thank you.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Everything. Maggie, spur of the moment, Dan. I love the passion. Thank you, Maggie. It's I'm sure you could tell I'm over the moon stoked about this. So why don't we okay. So what are you thinking for if we go the 29? Well, I think by the end of this show, we're going to have our 10 people. So why don't we do Lisa's in. There we go. We're 10. What? Sold out. Love it. Okay. So if we're all registered
Jeff said he's in too.
Jeff's in too? Okay, so we're 11. Let's go. Let's go.
We're good.
Old man in. Jeff. I love that, brother. Okay, so we're 11, Andrea. We're good to go. All of you that want to still join, just again, DM DJ or I. Andrea, can we get something set up today? We'll get people in, we'll get payment, and we'll get it done. And then when do we want to start? Because I know you probably got a bunch of others. So what are we looking for a start date? How long do people have to plan to get their day ready? All that kind of stuff.
Typically, we don't need a long time to plan. So, and I guess we need to decide, like, how do we want to do this? Like, typically, we have a meeting once a week. So it's not like I'm there every day. So this is part self-directed, part coaching, us through. So, do we want to?
Why don't we do this? I could host it on my Zoom platform.
Yeah.
Where we can have everybody video like this on our Zoom platform once a week. Okay. We can make you the host. I'll do the recording. I'll email the recording to everybody so everybody has the recordings that they can watch over and over again if they want. Why don't we? Okay, again, I'm gonna kind of put me on the spot. But if we have everything set up by tomorrow, and if everybody agrees, you know what? I'm gonna put my effort in. I'm gonna make this work. Let's start Monday.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right? Like if we're going to do it, let's do it. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get payment in. Let's get it paid. Let's get it worked. Let's get it done. Let's get the plan ready. And let's hit it Monday morning. First thing. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, and then do we want to do, this is working out. Yeah, Lisa. Yeah, this is so cool.
Normally all of this is offline. So this is, people get to see the behind the
totally scenes live right now. Everybody's watching.
So what I'll do is, why don't I set up a 21-day sales challenge Slack group? Everybody that registers, I'll put them in the Slack group, and that can be the medium in which we all communicate.
Okay.
And then we're all in that Slack group, and then we can set up what day works best for, call it the majority for the call.
Right.
And let's 21 day. You lay it out. Give us our game plan for 21 days as to what we got to do.
Yep.
And
It's
as a
really
community,
easy. I'm going to give you guys the tracking sheet from the Go for No Challenge workbook. There's a tracking sheet. It's old school, so print it out. If you don't want to print it out, then just record it on your phone. Like take what's on the tracking sheet and just put it on your phone.
Okay, perfect. Melissa, thank you, Dan, for putting this together. Melissa, thank you for joining us, man. This is awesome. And this is all just, I'm so excited. So again, everybody that's in DM, DJ, or I, we're going to need your email address and all that kind of stuff. If we're not connected, connect with us. We'll get all the information. I'll set up the Slack channel, and then all communication will go through that Slack channel. Let's hit this. Let's hit this Monday and make April the most productive month we've ever had in our lives. Who's in? I'm going to say everyone's in. Let's do it. Andrea, you are a rock star. Yeah, thank you so much. I am so excited.
No, this is fun because I have to tell you, like doing these challenges this year in a more formal way. I used to do them very informally, and they would kind of fall apart. So I'd really decided like it was going to be my focus this year, and it's really made me start to go for no. I've had some really interesting, go for no experiences already. So it's all about like improving our confidence, getting results, having fun, and just taking more risks as a group. And it's so much better to go for no as a group because you get inspired by other people who are out there, taking chances.
Done. I love it. And you know what? I love challenges. I love them. Like, and especially I think
like to push.
The way this is going to be set up with Slack where and so we do it like we have a couple of Slack channels that we have, like DJ and I are in one. I'm in one with Lisa and her husband. And they're really good because we don't all perform our best every day. Like we all have bad days. And I remember specifically one day I was like, guys, I don't know what it is. I literally sat here and I fell asleep, like literally sitting up. I fell asleep at 1:00. I woke up. I'm just not into it. And DJ's like, dude, you got to watch this YouTube video. And then everybody in that inner circle Slack channel was like, Dan, come on, man. You got, I remember Ryan Mohammed coming saying, Dan, you know what? You got to get in it, man. This is for your family. This is for everything. You got to start selling. And it's like within 4 minutes, I had like Tony Robbins energy, literally from a comatose drooling over my chin to like an insane amount of energy. And I crushed out over 150 prospecting calls and emails not 150 calls and emails between the two, everybody. And I crushed it out that afternoon, landed 2 clients totaling 20 grand in revenue from literally sleeping to just unbelievable energy. And that's the power of a community. That's the power of collaboration, right, DJ? We talk about it all the time. That collaboration. So I think this Slack group is going to
benefit of having a workout partner. Same benefit of having a workout partner. They're going to push you when you can't push yourself.
Yeah. Don't go there, Dan. Love it, Jess. Hayden says, let's get in the trenches as a team and break our limiting narratives. I love it. Love it. Iron sharpens iron. Love
Absolutely.
it. Dan, challenges. Don't go there. Laugh my ass off. Oh, yes. Jeff and I have a little bet challenge we got going for the year. So this is just adding to it, Jeff. We're just going to keep adding it. By the end of the year, it's going to be like a trip to Aruba or something with golf and everything included. So it's all good. I'm in, brother. Andrea, thank you so much. For all of you watching and listening, if you're watching and listening to this on the replay, and you're interested in jumping into the challenge, again, just DM DJ and I, because if we need to set up 2 or 3 different groups for Sales Chatter, Go for No Sales Chatter Challenge, we'll do it. If this is to help you, get to the next level, to be more, do more, and achieve your greatest self, and really put yourself into that shattering paradigms where you don't have a glass ceiling. Because if you're a commission salesperson, y'all don't have a glass ceiling in this industry. Trillions are available.
Pike syndrome. No Pike syndrome, guys.
No Pike syndrome.
No Pike syndrome. Hey, Dan, do you want to give them the heads up about the replay before we close?
Yeah. So, okay. So DJ and I last night, we were chatting and it's just like this patung and like the sky opened up. It was pouring rain here. And it was like, whoa, coming down from the sky. So we are going to go live 3 times a day. In the morning, the whole show is going to be live. Midday, we're going to go live again for all of you that might miss the show in the morning. We're going to go live for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to play the replay. So this show right here It's actually going to be pretty cool hearing this at noon and 3 o'clock today. This show right here is going to be replayed live at noon and 3 p.m. And the reason we're doing this because we have listeners now. For all of you watching, listening, we're averaging over 700 downloads a week. When we started, it was 32, literally at the beginning of 2021. And so it is scaling at massive heights. So what we want to do is we want to be cognizant of people on the West Coast, Central, and East Coast. And we want to share because what we've found is a lot of people have come and said, you know, Dan, I pull it up on LinkedIn, I hit pause and my day gets going and I forget all about it. Then it's the end of the day. So we wanted that kind of bing, DJ and Dan are live, bing, DJ and Dan are live 3 times a day. So if you're listening to this at 12 or 3, it is a replay, but DM us because we could put another group together and another group together and another group together. Because again, Andrea is about helping people win.
Yes.
All
All right, guys. Hey, thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, no Pike syndrome. We're going to use that. Blast that all over LinkedIn today. No Pike syndrome. Again,
hashtag no Pike syndrome. Yes.
Again, everybody, like and subscribe down below. Sales Chatter Live. If you're catching this on YouTube, we are going to be replaying it. We will be in live throughout the day as well with the replays to kind of just go over little things throughout. Thank you to American Logistics Centurion Trucking. Thank you to Andrea for taking on this challenge with us. This is going to be so much fun. I think I got a good one, and it's anonymous. So I'm going to take the credit for this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, go for it, man. Why not?
No is not a negative word sometimes. Saying no can save you from life's greatest pains.
To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversation.